Hey everyone, and welcome to the Reaching Your Heights podcast experience, episode 76. And in today's show, I'm going to be discussing with you guys how to stop procrastinating. So hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. This week, I really want to get into detail around procrastination. It's been a big part of my week for so many different reasons, some of which I'll share with you. And I just think that a lot of dancers can really benefit from understanding what procrastination actually is and how we go about getting rid of it, okay? Procrastination, guys, is just one of those things that you really probably don't realize that it's happening, but it's a big part of your life. It's a big part of everybody's lives, and part of the cure is first step of curing this is just realizing when it happens and what we need to do about it, right? Because most often we don't even realize when we're procrastinating, and when we do, we find our ways to actually believe that it's okay, right? Big reasons why I may procrastinate. I really hate writing emails. The reason why I hate writing emails is because I'm a perfectionist, right? And we're going to go through all the different types of people in this episode, and I really want you to understand what type of person you are, and for that reason why you would procrastinate and how we actually go about fixing that. Because part of being a dancer and an athlete and someone that wants to be the best that they can be is really trying to manage your time effectively, so making the most out of the time. But normally we spend more time procrastinating about the task that we're actually going to do longer than the task itself, right? Like, I know I spend longer thinking about an email than I actually do probably writing the email. But emails for me are a big one because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to trying to get as much information in the email. If someone emails me around training, asking me around, how to be better at this, or I've got injury this, I want to write as much information as possible in that email. The problem is it takes a lot of time. So I procrastinate beforehand, putting it off. When can I write that? Try to bundle them all together, thinking about the details instead of just writing it. So I want to go through that with you today on ways that have realized that have helped me in the past when it came to training. And now I'm trying to implement them when it comes to actual business work or emails or in different other areas of my life and tasks that I don't really, don't come naturally or easy to me. You might procrastinate because of the weather, right? I don't want to go outside and train. I don't want to go outside because it's raining, because it's too cold. I don't have the equipment, so on and so forth. And this kind of the second part of the reason why that inspired this episode was we're now on the verge of Reaching Your Heights on Demand, which a big reason why we created Reaching Your Heights on Demand was a lot of the junior dancers were coming up with those sorts of reasons, right? And when we procrastinate, 50% of the time it could be true, 50% of the time they're just made up reasons, right? Like, I know for half of the amount of dancers that weren't able to go outside because it was raining, there was another 50% of dancers that went outside when it was raining, right? So it just depends on the mindset and the type of person. Convenience is something that overcomes this to a certain degree. So if a dancer doesn't want to go outside, if they don't have access to a treadmill, they don't have access to something, we create Reaching Your Heights on Demand. We make it simple. They're now in the house, they're now in front of the TV, there's no rain, there's no wind, and then it's about who really needed that, or who now uses something else as an excuse, right? Like their TV isn't big enough or so on. So today I really want to nail down procrastination and really get everybody thinking around the type of person that they are, why they may procrastinate on what tasks, and how we can actually go about fixing that, right? So if we know the task itself doesn't normally take up a lot of time, right? If I want to, today I'm going to use the example of press-ups, just because it's a fitness-based reason, but it could be anything, right? It could be writing emails, it could be going to dance class, it could be, cooking that meal, going to the shop to buy that meal. This is why companies that create convenience always win, right? Like food delivery companies like Amazon, like it's just sometimes it's easier to do that. If I can change the TV with my watch, it's going to be much easier than getting up and walking over there to get the remote control, right? You see, so procrastination is always a problem that companies are trying to overcome, because they know that people procrastinate. And as a dancer, procrastination is something that we really need to deal with so that we can get the most out of our training and just get through the tasks that we have to do. So why does this happen, right? It's inner emotions. Inner emotions are always going to get the better of you. Now, the more you procrastinate, the more inner emotions that you have. So you might be more insecure, you might be more worried, you might compare yourself to more people. Those who generally don't really care can just rattle through the tasks, right? So different types of people, and I want to go through the different ranges of people, and I want you to identify which type of person you are. And you might be several, right? You might not just be one person, one type of person when it comes to everything. You might be a different person per task, But I'm sure that in dancing there's some things that you really love doing. There's parts of dancing that you don't really like doing. It comes to everything in studying. There'll be classes you like to go to. There'll be classes you won't like to go to. If you're dieting, for example, you might feel like you're not hungry and you can't be bothered cooking that. But if someone allowed you to cook a pizza or order pizza, you want to do that, right? So you can be different depending on the task is what I'm trying to say. So first up is going to be the perfectionist, right? And I write this because I believe that this is me, right? The perfectionist is always the person that needs the environment to be correct before they do something, right? They need the perfect photo. They need the perfect they need a perfect quote. They need the video to be perfect. The language in the video has to be perfect. The audio has to be perfect. Now, last week I said about Lauren asking me to do the podcast from a hotel room. Here I am again. It doesn't come easily to me because I want everything to be perfect. I want to be in the studio and so on. And Lauren is exactly the same as that too. But she's telling me not to procrastinate and just go ahead and record. So we're trying to be better. But the perfectionist, right? If I'm telling someone to do a push-up, right? The person's going to be... Okay, the perfectionist is going to be someone who they don't have the right clothing on, right? So they need the new clothing before they'll go to the gym, right? They need to have their hair done before they go to the gym. They need to really analyze the push-up, right? Well, do you want my hands here? Do you want them here? How far do they need to be? Are they too tight? Are they too wide? They need to be able to do it properly. They spend all their time analyzing how to do things properly or preparing for the main thing. That when it comes to the actual thing, they've taken way too long to actually get there, right? So the perfectionist is someone that will spend too much time trying to think about doing it before they'll actually do it. So in the scenario of a press up, who's actually going to make more progress over a 12-week period, right? Who's further ahead? If you have the perfectionist who's thinking about, well, I can't do it yet because I need to wait on those trainers coming. I need to wait on that coming. I need to wait on the new camera coming. I can't just video something on my phone. Or you have someone that goes, okay, I'm not going to do it perfectly. I'm just going to do 10 press-ups every day. Over 12 weeks, who's going to be further on, right? If you're doing 10 press-ups a day, not perfectly, you're going to learn as you go. Your press-ups are going to be perfect after 12 weeks versus the perfectionist who hasn't actually done anything, right? Because they're thinking about it, they're planning. They have to get the best equipment first before they film anything. Versus the guy on their phone, this is filming stuff. And okay, their views might not be huge, but they're getting views. More views than what the perfectionist is getting waiting on the perfect camera, right? So it's just a push-up. It's literally just a push-up. Just get down, do the push-up. Yeah, but he's watching. Or yeah, but he might be at the gym, so I have to make sure that I wear that. Or I have to go at that time because I don't want to see that person. And this is how we get on, right? The perfectionist in many different forms wants everything to be perfect before they actually do something. And so most people will end up making much more progress without having things to be perfect, right? Because you can't have quality till you have quantity. You have to try a lot of things first in order to get to that quality. But the perfectionists won't. And so they end up kind of paralyzed in their own zone because they won't step out of it because it's not perfect yet, right? Then you have the lazy person, okay? And the lazy person is the one that cracks me up. I hate lazy people. I prefer someone to do something and do it wrong than to never do it at all. So the lazy person, right? They're just simply lazy. They don't want to do it, right? It's, okay, do a press up. I don't really want to. I don't want to be sore. Yeah, but I don't want to be tired. Yeah, but I've got this later on. Yeah, but it's going to get in the way of this. Yeah, but I have to pick the kids up in 30 minutes. Yeah, I know I meant to do 15 press-ups, but I'm just going to do 5, right? They try and find the easy way out. Or they're the type of person that are going to sit and watch TV for 1 hour. They'll watch a program on TV that they don't like for 1 hour to see them getting up and grabbing the remote control at the other side of the room and changing it, right? So the remote control is 3 seconds away, but they'll watch that TV for 1 hour because they can't be bothered moving to get the remote control, right? You've all had it. Most people have it if they're hungover or whatever, but the lazy person has this all the time. They're crippled by these emotions, right? They're always trying to find the easier way of doing it. They'll do half of something. It's good enough, right? So that's a lazy person. You have the comparer, right? So the emotional person that is a comparer is they'll think about, okay, well, I want to dance. I want to do the press up, but I can only do 10. She can do 20 and she can do 30. So why should I bother trying? Because they can already do it better than me, right? So this is an insecure person. This is the insecurities that are coming around in this particular thing or task is that, yeah, I'll do it, but she can do that and she can do that. So there's actually no point in me even trying, right? So for someone that's a comparer, they're an insecure person and you need to overcome that. You need to just think about your own stuff, right? What should you do? You got to think about your own stuff Because when you're thinking about your own stuff, you're not comparing to other people. You're channeling the energy into you, which is going to get the best out of you because nothing else matters, okay? So that's the compare. I'm sure we've all been in that situation before, but you're going to be crippled by it and you need to overcome those emotions, right? The next person you have is kind of the futurist, right? So they're thinking about what's ahead. Again, this type of person really, really cracks me up when it comes to health and fitness because they want to do it, but they don't want, for example, right, starting a diet. They're day one on their diet, they want to do it, but they don't want to be too lean, right? Or they'll do the push-up, but they don't want to be too muscly. Or they don't want to look like a man, they don't want to look too manly. Or they don't want to get too big and bulky, right? You have a guy who's never lifted a weight in his life, will come in and we'll start weight training. The first thing they'll say to me in the consultation is, okay, yeah, I like this, I want to do this, but I don't want to be too big like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry, but like, you think that's going to happen overnight? Like, you're worried about what might happen in 10 years time. If you train every day specifically to look like that, you probably will never even look like that anyway. But that's your reason on day one. And so they're thinking too far ahead in the future, right? I don't want to lose too much weight. I don't want to be too big. I don't want to look too much like a man. But there's a process and you're going to get to decide when that stops. So they kind of procrastinate around doing things because they think of what that might lead to in the future, okay? And it's all rubbish. Like, literally, just do the push-up. Just literally stop talking, do the push-up, and then we'll talk. If you wake up tomorrow like Arnold Schwarzenegger, then let's just not do any more push-ups, and then you go back to the way you were, right? It's never going to happen. But that's the futurist. They're always thinking around what they don't want to happen in the future, right? You've been overweight for 20 years and I put you on a diet and the first thing you say to me is, okay, I want to do this, but I don't want to be too lean. Like, really? Like, that's your worry? You don't want to be too lean? Like, let's worry about that in 3, 4, 6 months time, yeah? Then you have the idiot, okay? So the idiot is, they don't know how, okay? So, okay, I'm going to show you how. Let's do a press up. Yeah, but I don't know how to do that. Okay, so it's fine. I'm going to show you how to do it. Yeah, but like, I don't know how. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to do the press up now. Yeah, but I need to read 500 books and watch 1,000 videos and read up on it and ask people about it before I do it because I really don't know how to do it. But you haven't even started yet. Like, of course you don't know how to do it. You haven't started, but that's why I'm here. So just do it. Do it, figure it out, learn as you go. Like, the whole point of the idiot emotions is that you're just crippling yourself to not do something because you don't know how to do it, versus just learn as you go, right? Like, you don't know how to be a world champion dancer. Okay, that's fine. But you don't need to know that right now. You just need to learn your steps. What is the first step of becoming a world champion dancer? Do your first steps, right? I want to be an Instagram influencer, but I don't know how. That's fine. You're going to have to post one post first before you ever get to that. There's always first steps, and the idiot is always asking or telling themselves they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. And that's fine. You're not expected to know how to do these things, but you're expected to learn, right? So do whatever it is you need to do. Throw yourself in the deep end and you will learn, okay? So that is the idiot, basically. The next person I have is the dumb listener. So a dumb listener is basically someone that listens to everybody else's opinions, right? And I'm sure some people are laughing when they're listening to this, and some people thinking this is me, and that's what I want. I want you to think this is me, because if you can identify that, then we can change it, right? So the dumb listener is basically, so you're doing a push-up and you tell your friend, yeah, I'm doing push-ups. No, you shouldn't be doing push-ups. Why? But I want to do push-ups. Yeah, but that's not the best way. That's not the best way to get stronger, right? You're better at getting stronger this way. Or I started a new diet today. Yeah, but that's not the best diet. Sans says that this is the best diet. And, I bought this pill online and the pill is the best. Or I bought this exercise machine off a TV commercial and it helps you do sit-ups better than what you can do sit-ups. Or, I can put these electro pads on me and it's going to give me better abs than what sit-ups will do. Okay, then I'll try those. So then they go and they start trying what their friend is telling them to try. Now, the problem with that is you're listening to one person over what you already believed might happen. And then what happens 6 months down the line is that person's going to go, yeah, actually the pill didn't work. No, actually that exercise machine is rubbish. Because they're bought into something that they believe is true. They haven't even tried and tested it for themselves, right? They believe that's true because they've read it or their friend got results on it. or that was better. But why is that better? And even if they did get results, is it better for you? How do you know that's better for me? Right? So they haven't found their own way. They've normally been told or watched something and they believe it's better. So they tell you to do it with them because they want that satisfaction of knowing that someone else is with them. So if they feel that person's also going to feel, right? And then the dumb listener is the friend that goes along with them, and they are the person that does all these things with them and ends up nowhere. Okay, so don't be the dumb listener. You got to think about what it is. Do the push-up. Literally just do the push-up. And then if your friend doesn't want to do the push-up, that's fine, but you do the push-up. Then you have the hopper, right? So the hopper is kind of someone that procrastinates because they jump from one thing to the next, right? They're never ever spending enough time on that one thing to get really good at it, right? Imagine if, how could we put this into an example? Imagine if you're drilling for oil, right? So you're drilling for oil and you want to drill, the oil's at 3,000 feet, right? But you're a hopper, so you basically go ahead and you find the hole that you want to drill. You start drilling. You get to 1,000 feet and you're like, there's no oil here. So you go to the next hole, right? You pick a new space, you find a new spot, drill again. 1,000 feet, there's still no oil. And you hop again, and you hop again, you hop again, right? You get bored and you move on to something else. You're getting bored, you're moving on to something else. You're not really drilling holes, you're just drilling dents, right? As what I call drilling dents. You're putting a dent in the ground, then you're moving on to something else because you get bored, you get fed up. You don't really want it, or you think you want it, or you think it's going to come easier than what it did initially. And so it takes time. So you start hopping, right? The grass is greener, the grass is greener, the grass is greener. Now, you're getting 1,000 meters every time, you're never hitting that oil. Then the dumb person comes around, right? Not the dumb listener, but just a normal person is like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm going to throw myself right into this hole, and if I hit it, cool. If not, I know I've tried, because that person's going to take satisfaction from trying. The hopper, on the other hand, doesn't take any satisfaction from trying because they want to hit gold, right? They don't want to, it's not good enough to, I don't know, let's say it's not good enough to be a really good recall dancer. They either going to be nothing, or they want to be the 10-time world champion, right? You all know that person, right? They have to be the absolute best. They want to create the next Facebook. They want to be the next, I don't know, Kim Kardashian. They want to be the next greatest influencer, without even doing the simplest steps first, right? So you basically have the hopper who's hopping around all this stuff. The other person comes along and they're like, do you know what? I'm happy enough. We would really like this, but if I don't get it, I've got a comfortable lifestyle. So I'm just going to go all in. So they go all in and they stick to that one thing, and they hit that 3,000 feet and they strike oil. And the hopper's still jumping around, right? And it took them so much time to jump around, and one person stuck to that one thing and they reached where they needed to reach, right? So that's basically the hopper, is that you want to really try and stick to your ideas. So in the sense of procrastinating, there is going to be doubting yourself. It's like, am I going to be good enough? Should I stick to this long enough? Maybe I'm better here. And then they jump to a completely different thing, right? They've spent so long building themselves up as a dancer, and then all of a sudden they start swimming, right? And swimming is completely the opposite of dancing. So now we're starting from scratch in a completely new thing. You know what? Swimming's not good enough, and I'm getting older. I'm going to start a job as a hairdresser. So then they start a job as a hairdresser, and then 3-6 months down the line, no, I don't want to do that. You know what? Actually, I'm going to be a painter. And they're learning these brand new skills, and this time that it takes to do this every single time, they're getting bored. They want to do the new skills because the new skill is what excites them, right? And then they get bored of it and they move on. It's not actually the achievement at the end of that. It's not actually being the greatest hairdresser or the greatest dancer. It's the excitement of the first 6 months of it, followed by actually the realization that they don't really want it anymore, right? So now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't change your ideas. There's a difference between pivoting your ideas and changing your entire ideology, right? So for example, let's take Reaching New Heights, for example. Yeah, we start off with a book, then we want to move into online training. We start off building really good courses that are designed for results. Then we move into Reaching New Heights on demand. It's a little bit more fun, aimed at the younger kids, and aimed at more convenience and the ability to do it at the touch of a button. It's still the same goal of trying to improve a dancer's performance. That has not changed. The main kind of underlying principle is can we improve dancers' performances, but we pivot in different directions to basically suit everybody and try and, obviously things move forward. New research comes out, new platforms come out, technology gets better. So you got to pivot your way around. But the main principle is still the same, is how can I improve a dancer's performance? So for you, it might be, how can I become the best dancer? How can I become the best mom? How can I become the best office assistant? Whatever it might be. And then you might change. You'll try things, you'll stop them. That's okay. You can hop around on the surface, but the principles are still the same, versus hopping around into completely different new territories and not really bringing anything across from what you learned, right? So it doesn't matter if we write a book or we put something online and we're doing a face-to-face workshop or whatever it is, you can still bring those skills across, what you learned, right? So if you're hopping around into completely different new things, it's starting over every single time and you're never really getting anywhere. Success is committed to one idea over time. It's not committed to many ideas. Now, you can have many ideas within that one idea, but success is committed to one idea and sticking to it over time, and then just pivoting as you need to pivot. Yeah. Like I always say this to my clients, right? They'll come in, no client ever comes in when they initially put on weight. It's always at the end of a 5, 10, 15-year battle with weight gain. They've tried every pill and every kind of quick fad diet under the sun, and then they come and they bite the bullet. They realize they have to invest money. They realize they have to train properly. And then the first thing I say to them is, look, everybody knows how to lose weight. You know how to lose weight. It's procrastination, right? You always want the quicker, the better way or someone to do it for you. It's like, really, if this person, they may not end up with a six-pack and ripped and shredded for the beach, but if this person had really just looked at the basic principles, okay, I need to move more, I need to eat a little bit less, cut out some sugar, cut out soft drinks, drink more water, eat some vegetables, eat more fruits, move more, increase my walking, get a little bit stronger, get more improvement flexibility. Everybody knows these principles, yet they won't do them because it requires them to get off the settee and actually physically implement it themselves. They would prefer to buy something that's more convenient and they just have to take it and it's easier. And this is where procrastination comes from, guys. Procrastination can be in many different ways, as you've just found out, many different forms of that emotional kind of insecurity. However, that's essentially where it comes from, right? It's like, if it's not convenient, you're going to find a way to put it off. Like, think about it in the mornings, right? When you set your alarm, for example, right? You set your alarm, you have probably the first 3 seconds of your alarm going off is you realizing or thinking about where you are, right? So the first 3 seconds it goes off, like, where am I? What time is it? Am I working today? Am I going to school today? Am I not? Am I training tonight? Blah, blah, blah. You're looking for reasons to start procrastinating, right? Because you all know the day that your alarm goes off or the day that you wake up and you're not in school, you don't really feel tired, right? You're relaxed, you're not stressed. You wake up and you're like, oh, it's cool, I can go back to sleep or whatever. Don't really need to go back to sleep. But if you wake up in those first 3 seconds, you realize that you're going to school, suddenly you're so tired. Suddenly you hope it's raining outside. Suddenly you hope there's a snow day. So you're procrastinating, right? And so, how many times people wake up in the morning, they're like, you know what, I'm not going to the gym tonight. They walk out of the house without their gym kit. And then about 2 hours into work, they're like, yeah, I should have just brought my gym kit because they feel better. But in the morning, they get those battles in their head, right? So the main kind of points that I'm trying to get you to take away here is that first step is identifying these things. The first step is you realizing which one of those people you are and which situations. And then the second step is just training yourself to just do, basically. So you want to do a push-up. Yeah. No, do a push-up. I know, but what if, no, do a push-up. Like, literally just do it. Like, yes, it's harder for that split second to do it, but if you think about the time that it's taken you to actually sit and think, yeah, it's easier to sit and think, you know what, I'll do it in a minute. That's easier, right? You didn't have to make the decision to get up. But longer term, the progress that you're going to make is so little compared to what you could have done. And back to the case of the alarm, if you the alarm goes off and you literally get up before you have those thoughts, then you're already up. Then you don't have a choice, right? You got a couple of seconds to work out where you are, what you're going to do. And if by the time you work it out and you don't like it, then you're going to smack the snooze button. And that snooze button is getting hit over and over and over again until the very last second. And then you're delayed the whole day, right? Because then you're not getting breakfast. Then you're rushing. Then you've got to run for the bus. Sets you back because you didn't like your initial thoughts when you woke up. Okay? Because it's emotional anxiety. So actions drive out thoughts. And the whole purpose of this podcast today is for me to make you do actions because you have no time to think. So my rule this week, guys, is that I'm not going to double think or overthink anything to do with emails. I'm literally going to go on And whatever email comes, I'm going to answer it there and then. I'm not going to put it away for later. I'm not going to put the hard ones to the end or whatever. As it comes, I'm opening it, I'm writing it, and I'm sending it back. And it sounds such a small thing, is an email, right? But that's me. That's what's important to me right now. And if I apply that to myself and build up the discipline for that, then I know I can do that for anything, which I've done in the past for training and other tasks. For me now, it's emails. For you, it might be emails might be super easy, but for you, it might be having to go sprint up a hill later on today, right? So yes, by all means, make things more convenient, make your life better, make your life easier, but still be a doer, right? Actions leave no time to think. So the next time you find yourself thinking, do something. Whatever it is, just do something, and then you'll stop thinking. And if you do nothing, you're going to think. If you do something, you're going to stop thinking. So how do we replicate that into everything that you do, right? Into dance class, when you go in, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered warming up. Oh, slow getting started. Oh, I'm sore. Go in and just do that push-up, right? I'm not physically telling you to do a push-up, but that's the analogy I want you to leave. Every time that you think about something, just remember me saying, do a push-up. It's just a push-up. The remote control is literally just over there, right? Like, the rain is literally not that bad. The diet is not that bad. You're not going to lose that much weight that quick. You're not going to turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Don't listen to your friend. Stop hopping around and stop doing other things, right? Stop thinking about the future. Just work on now. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Do it now. Stop being lazy. Stop being a perfectionist and having to wear the right shoes and the right makeup and have your hair the right way before you go into the gym. Just do it, okay? Take control of those emotions. Take control of those inner demons and those inner thoughts, and just do an action. If you can do an action, even if it's on one task this week, I want to know about it. Please, please, please let me know. My action is on emails. I want your action, if you're a dancer, to be on training. If you're a parent, to be on something that you want to do for you, but you've put off because of something else. Make an action this week, and please, please, please let me know about it, because I'm really interested to see who listens to this and who can actually take action. And maybe your action can be that you email me and let me know. Robert@rnhacademy.com. So guys, I hope that helps. Please stop procrastinating. Please take actions. And I will speak to you all next week.